Jerome and his family and friends. If you haven't had a chance to see the Battisti Pergola, we'll do a little grand opening celebration here sometime this fall. I had lunch there with Francis yesterday. We didn't get a whole lot of conversation in with people stopping by to say hi to Francis, just back from Italy. And you'll see some new landscaping that we're in the process of implementing out front to give us even a little more curb appeal than has transpired since we took down the two older buildings out there and put up our version of number 5 and so on and so forth out front. So I really can't thank our maintenance and facilities crew enough. We don't thank them often enough or profusely enough for all the work that they put in to improve the campus and keep it looking as good as it does. So Dave, please share my thanks and appreciation with your crew. And when you get back from that really terrible location you're in at the moment, we appreciate it. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Drummond. Any questions for Dr. Drummond? 5.2 student affairs, Dr. Ross.
Hi, it's a short report. It's the end of the year diversity report that builds on last year's. And even though it's a snapshot, we've made some progress, and actually anecdotally, I think we've done pretty well simply because we're back on campus. But you'll be able to see in some comparisons that Black and Latinx students have increased their persistence from fall to fall. Blacks had gains of 5%, first time full-time students in college. Latinx 12%, and white students by 3%. And the division has been working really, really hard to get the students back engaged. We're really working on bringing the athletics program back up, extra and co-curricular programs back up. So hopefully, as we go through into this next year, we'll do even better. With regards to personnel, we've made some good progress, even though when you look at the snapshot from spring 21 to spring 22, we lost 2 Latinx faculty members. We gained an Asian and a Black faculty member. And then with the staffing, we gained 1 Asian and 2 Latinx. So we're continually working to try to make sure that our faculty and staff becomes more reflective of the population that we serve. So for me, progress is being made. I think one of the things that I need to try to focus on this year, we've got pretty good data, but to work on some qualitative information to support the data, I think it's going to be very important, because we want to understand why students stay, why students leave. So I'll probably work on some focus groups for the upcoming year. Can you please look out for some important dates? Because as we bring the college back to life, we'll be participating in the United Way Day of Caring. I think that's very important for our students to be out and visible. With the United Way, we'll be at the Ross Zoo. So look for that date. I'm sorry, I don't have it here with me. I forgot it. And to celebrate SUNY Broome coming back, last year we started a Broome night downtown. We'll have Broome night this year on the 20th, I know that date, on the 22nd of September at the garage. And so, it'd be great if all of the, as many of the board members could come out and celebrate with our community and showing Binghamton that, Broome is here. And that's all I have to share.
Thank you, Carol. Any questions for Carol? 5.3 student assembly update, Ellie?
There's no update. We haven't met.
Thank you. 5.4 BCC Foundation report, Ms. Williams.
Hi, everybody. My report's in the packet. I'm just going to highlight a few key things. June 30th was the end of the foundation's fiscal year. And a couple of things. We had a total investment portfolio of approximately $38.4 million, of which $37.5 million of that is endowed. The foundation's total assets were $43.4 million, including the beneficial interest in perpetual trusts, compared to the fiscal year end June 30, 2021, when we had total assets of $46.6 million. Public support revenue for fiscal year 22 was 44.35 million compared to fiscal year 21 of 1.56 million. The large delta there was due to a very significant estate gift that we got, roughly totaling about $2.7 million. The really exciting news is that even though our net assets dropped because of unrealized losses in our investments, we had a record total of student and program support this past year, $1.79 million. It did not include any capital. That's all student support, faculty development, campus activities, anything that is going on this campus. And it really is just some wonderful news, despite the fact that, you know, the financial markets and the economy is struggling right now. We're able to provide even more support to our students, which was really an important and a wonderful thing for us to celebrate. So just wanted to highlight a few other things. The next magazine is in the design phase, and we will be mailing it out in mid-October to roughly 34,000 of our alumni and friends. And we are still working with the 75th anniversary celebration committee and are putting together the time capsule that we have made a decision. It's a very large box, stainless steel box. We're going to be displaying it at Reunion in April of 2023. And we'll be asking the trustees to follow us the week after when we bury that time capsule out in a prepared area in front of the Wales building. We've got all kinds of donations from alumni, including original, apparel to all different kinds of things. So it's pretty unique and we're excited about it. One gift highlight I wanted to tell you about, I did mention it, and now I think Dr. Haynes will probably have more to say about it, but we received a $25,000 gift from a retired staff member here on campus to support the Pathways initiative related to student financial wellness. And one of the things that those of us on the subcommittee of student financial wellness have been working on is how to better assist our students that live in poverty. And so we had an opportunity to participate in a poverty institute that helps you to identify what it's like. And we do have a very high rate of students that live in poverty or near the poverty line currently. So this gift is actually helping to support to have more of our faculty and staff trained to become certified coaches. Laura is one going certified coach now. And also one of the other parts of that project is we are going to be able to take a mobile computer lab out to those rural communities where a lot of our potential students could be and who are living in poverty. And so this gift will also help support a mobile laptop lab that we can take out, and we can help students complete FAFSAs in the field and go over just like orientations and things about how they could qualify for financial aid and come to school. So it's probably one of the more exciting gifts that we've gotten in a while, because I think it really hits to the heart of what we're looking at and what we face every day. And our ultimate goal here is to partner with, helping our students succeed and retain them and get them to complete. So one final thing I just wanted to mention, it's more of a save the date. Is that I'm letting you know that the foundation is honored to be participating in the planning of Dr. Jerome's retirement party. And so we do have a date on the calendar for Saturday, June 24th, 2023. And we're going to be having that down at the Culinary and Event Center. So mark that on your calendar. You'll certainly be hearing more about it and get a personalized invitation. But just want to let you know about that now as you make your plans for next week. Any questions?
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
5.6 budget and finance update. Michael.
Yeah, so the monthly budget forecast is in your packet. It's the same as it's been for the last several months. The current forecast is the college will need about 3.5 million of federal stimulus money to balance the budget. And other than that, that concludes my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Michael. Any questions for Michael? 5.7 media, Jesse.
Right, should be that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
Dave Lagikis is on. Did you want his report?
yes, I skipped over. Sorry, Dave. Going back to 5.5, facilities update, Mr. Lagikis.
I'm on. Thank you, Mr. Chair. You should have my report in front of you. I'll briefly hit the highlights. As we had done in previous years, we coordinated successfully with Broome County and the Speedy Fest organizers to provide on-campus parking and transportation for the event, and that went very well. Materials were finally delivered for work on the replacement of the library roof project. The project is currently under construction. It's about 25% complete. We expect that to be completed by late September, early October. We've also issued a notice to proceed for the roof replacement on the Student Center / West Gymnasium roof. AB Construction is the contractor, and that work will begin within the next few weeks. And they also have the business building roof as part of that contract work, which will begin next summer. As Dr. Drum noted, the Battisti pergola has been completed, and it turned out really, really well. Our guys did a great job constructing that, and with the exception of some solar-powered sconce lighting, it's for all intents and purposes complete. If you have a chance, you should walk by it. It's at the top of the stairway that comes up from parking lot 1. We also finally received the building permits for the pergolas, for the pavilions, so that work will begin within the next week or so. We've received a number of proposals for both the construction management and the architectural services for the Decker Health Sciences nursing renovation work. We are reviewing those now, and we will have a recommendation to the board for your September meeting. Believe it or not, fall sports starts, and we've prepped the soccer field, and that's ready to go, and it's in very good shape. We've repaired and upgraded the HVAC system at the BC Center. As Dr. Drum has noted, and thank you very much for the kind comments, the landscaping work and improvements continues across campus. The campus-wide paving and sidewalk contract for 21/22 is nearing completion. Most of the work left is striping in the parking lots and hydroseeding some of the areas where we converted parking lots to a natural look. And Dr. Drum mentioned that out in front of the college along Front Street. We've taken out part of the parking, and we're going to convert that to grass and to some flowering shrubs and maple trees. We continue work on the replacement of our HVAC systems that are water cooled. We want to transition to air cooled systems. We had a meeting earlier this week for the design and renovation of the restrooms in both Old Science and Student Services. So they have been reviewed. We've gotten comments back to the architect, and she will be providing updated drawings for those. We're finalizing the photo lab relocation design bid specs, and we expect to go to bid with that within the next few weeks. We're looking at a potential location for an on-campus track. We've got a consultant under contract to do that. And lastly, we've been coordinating with the Broome County Parks Department with respect to the renovation of the Bags Eye Softball Complex. Our home field is one of those fields, and we will be involved with the redevelopment and the renovation of that complex as that takes place. So with that, I would be more than happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Any questions? Dave, the campus does look great.
It does.
Yeah. Thanks, Anthony and Margaret. I appreciate that.
And a comment following that, Mr. Chair, if I might, for our next priorities as we look at food science and agriculture, we're pretty well caught up on our classrooms now. Finally, as you know, we have one of the oldest community college campuses in the state, so catching up there there for a couple of years. If you've traveled around, seen a lot of the other 29 campuses as I have, they all have pretty full-blown student centers. If you've been through our student center, you know we have really an athletic center. We really don't have a student center. We happen to have an athletic center that has a cafeteria and a bookstore and a tiny little theater. We really don't have a student center, so we've got to pay attention to that. I hoped we'd get there sooner in my time here, knowing that was puts a disadvantage as if students are comparing campuses. So we need to focus on getting some more student space. The track being one of them, or one of the few grass fields left, and whether it's K-12 or the community colleges, and we really need a student center annex, if you will, so we have a true student center for our students, particularly those living on campus, but for everyone. So you'll see more of that in future facilities plans.
Agreed.
Anything else? I just want to thank the board for, the last 5 years. I know that the board took it serious to look at the fund balance and get that above the average, and it looked at capital projects and worked with Michael, and Michael's done an outstanding job to put more funds into capital, and that's why you've seen the progress we've made in the last 5 years. So thank you, Michael, and your team. We're going to go into executive session. It's going to be about 10 minutes. There's no reason for anyone to stay because we're just going to adjourn after that. But I'd like Laura and Cheryl and the 3 vice presidents to stay in the meeting. Can I have a motion to go into executive session? Barb, second. Tina? You think I forgot your name?
Okay, Anthony, I will log off then.
Yes, and I'll tell Dr. Drum, or Dr. Drum will tell you who voted to come out of executive session.
All right, then we'll just stop the whole live stream at this point then.
That is correct. He's
Yeah.
here doing it right now.
Okay, thank you. I just have to change